Well, greetings and salutations, test takers. This is the Series 7 Guru coming to you from my off-grid studio, getting our kicks on historic Route 66 with another explication request. If you have an explication request, send it to explicationrequest@guruexamprep.com, and we'd be more than happy to try and help you out. Here's today's request. A convertible debenture is callable at 101 and is trading at 105. The debenture carries a 4% coupon and is convertible at 25. The minute you get a conversion price, you need to establish the conversion ratio. I can't stress that to you enough. You cannot do a convertible question, without knowing the conversion ratio. So when you get the conversion price, you got to stop and say, okay, I'm going to need the conversion ratio at some point in this question. You got to be fumbling around with this because what this is about is parity, and you're going to have to do this maybe once or twice on your Series 7. You can't be fumbling around with it. Angels weep for you if I tell you there's math that's there that you need to be able to do without fumbling around and you're not prepared. So let's do that first here. The conversion terms are always based on par. So par in a bond is 1,000. So 1,000, and we divide by the conversion price. And now we're back in business. We know the conversion ratio is 40 shares. So for each of these bonds, if I choose to, I can turn them in and get 40 shares of the common. All right, let's now I call this the setup. A lot of work here before we get to the question. The common stock is trading at 27. Okay, so now I have the current market price of the stock. If an investor bought the debenture, so I bought the debenture for 1,050. Cost basis is simply when you turn your money into the investment. How did I get 1,050? 105% of par is 1,050. So now I can get 40 shares of the common. It says I bought the debenture, I converted. And remember, my conversion ratio is 40 shares. So when I convert into the shares, I'm going to be paying 26.25 per share. Now, by the way, that's not taxable to convert, but that's what my cost basis is. It tells me that the stock is 27. So if I convert, by the way, that's parity of the common, and good news for me. When I convert 26.25, 27. Wow, woohoo! So I'm up 75 cents a share. I'm up 75 cents per share on 40 shares. And so the answer is $30. A lot of work there, but a big takeaway is to make sure that you're prepared to establish the conversion ratio when given the conversion price. I'd also be able to do parity of the common, the market price or what you paid for the convertible or current market price of the convertible divided by the number of shares. And I'd also be able to do parity of the bond. That would be to take the $27 and times it by 40 shares to find out parity of the bond. So that math is certainly testable. This phraseology, I can see where the test taker maybe really struggled with the phraseology and how this is set up. But, I think it's a fair question. Remember, lots of stuff here that have nothing to do with answering the question. We didn't need to know the call. That was just extra stuff. We didn't need to know the 4% coupon. What we needed to know that wasn't given is, again, that conversion ratio. Well, remember, inch by inch, convertibles are a cinch, yard by yard, convertibles are hard, and I'll see you for the next explication request.